Welcome to the EdgeBuilder Safety Training video number 6. In this video, we will be covering general lifting guidelines. Outside of the common cold, injuries related to improper lifting is the greatest reason for work loss in our country. The statistics are not good. 80% of us will experience back-related conditions in our lifetime. 50% of us will experience back or neck pain in any given year. Low back pain is the leading cause of disability among people ages 19 to 45. At EdgeBuilder, with thousands of pounds of material manually lifted every work shift, being safe is important. At EdgeBuilder, employee safety is a priority. Each workstation is set up to safely accommodate a specific job function. This can only be possible when each employee embraces a high level of responsibility, not only their safety, but the safe operation of the workstation and fellow employees. The following are common sense EdgeBuilder worker policies. No drug or alcohol use. EdgeBuilder has a zero tolerance policy. Any employee found under drug and or alcohol influence will be terminated. Any medication prescribed by a doctor which could affect worker safety should be discussed with your supervisor. Any employee feeling ill during work hours should notify their work supervisor. Here are a few more common sense worker policies for EdgeBuilder. Safety glasses must be worn on the shop floor. Steel-toed shoes or boots are a requirement. Your shoes must also be of the non-slip variety and in good condition. Employees should avoid wearing loose clothing or jewelry that might get caught in the equipment mechanism, causing bodily damage. Ear protection is strongly recommended but not required. Lifting heavy items is the leading cause of injury in the workplace, according to government statistics. It is also one of the most preventable injuries when you use safe lifting practices and work in your power zone, which is from your knees to your shoulders. As an EdgeBuilder employee, you share in the responsibility to work and act safely on all jobs at all times, including using common sense before lifting. Correctly sizing up a situation means you are less likely to suffer from back sprains, muscle pulls, wrist injuries, elbow injuries, spinal injuries, and other injuries caused by lifting heavy objects on the shop floor. With thousands of pounds of material to be lifted on each work shift, let's walk through safe and lifting practices for all wall panel assembly process. Sizing up a lifting situation is more important than just operating in your power zone, as it is important to understand the mechanics of how your back functions. The amount of lifting force placed on your back under certain conditions can be surprising. Anytime you bend over and pick something up without bending your knees, you put tremendous pressure on your lower back. Your waist actually acts like a fulcrum in a lever system, and it is not centered. In fact, without bending your knees, your back operates on a 10-to-1 ratio. Picking up a 50-pound board in this manner puts 500 pounds of pressure on your lower back. With mechanical motion of this type, it is easy to understand how lower back injuries can occur. Proper lifting is working within your power zone and using your legs to lift while keeping your back as straight as possible. To pick up a heavy load, squat down, then bend with your knees, never your back. Lift with your legs. Keep your head looking forward in the upright position. As you lift, keep the weight close to your body. Never twist your waist while lifting, as this movement will cause back injuries. Instead, lift straight up, as described, then use your feet, taking small steps to turn your body in the right direction. Proper lifting of extremely heavy loads or movement of material from one side of the factory to the other side are best made using the proper equipment. Fork trucks, pallet jacks, and hand trucks are all examples of back-saving equipment used on the factory floor. As an EdgeBuilder employee, we encourage you to work with the floor supervisor in the case of using the forklift. Hand trucks and pallet jacks are available for your use at any time. As a training point, you should push rather than pull a pallet jack or hand truck across the factory floor. Minimizing the amount of weight to be lifted is another approach to lifting safely. Rather than picking up the entire weight of the board, Where possible, use the drag and drop method of moving lumber. Wood boards can be dragged and dropped to individual workstations as shown in the video below. This method is especially helpful to reduce back stress when using the repetitive motion, such as loading the upcut saw and miter saw component build stations. Ease of loading can be increased further by keeping the wood material at or slightly above waist level. Work with your floor supervisor to stage the bulk lumber in this manner. Additional tips for safe lifting. Get ready for lifting by using warm-up exercises with stretches before starting your work shift. Continue to stretch throughout the day to stay flexible and limber so your body can best handle the workload. Each EdgeBuilder employee will likely be lifting an accumulated weight exceeding several thousand pounds per work shift. It is recommended that you check with your doctor to make sure you are in good physical condition to perform these tasks. Remember in lifting to size up the load you are trying to lift, as you have the major responsibility for preventing lifting injuries. If the load is too heavy, don't overdo it. Find someone to team lift the object that needs to be moved. Safe practices for team lifting include: designate a person to lead the lift, lift at the same time, keep the load level, slowly unload together. This completes the general lifting safety training video. At EdgeBuilder, employee safety is a priority. In this presentation, we reviewed the process of lifting safely and common sense EdgeBuilder work policies. If you have any questions on lifting safely, please contact the floor supervisor.